to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the AstroEnergy show on Blog Talk Radio. My name is Shelley Overton. I'm happy to be here with you today. Please let me know in the chat room if you can hear me, because guess what? Mercury goes retrograde soon, and I don't know if I'm going to survive. I am talking to you from Orlando, Florida. My name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando. And, of course, we have a Mercury retrograde coming, and let's just see when that is. It is actually at 9:04 a.m. It just happened. So about an hour and a half ago, and guess what? I am racing around trying to make everything work, and once again, my headset is acting up. My brand new headset, about 1 month old. So hopefully everyone can hear me properly. And if you can in the chat room, please let me know. So I'm going to just real quick type in there and see if everyone can hear me. So Mercury wants to mess with me this month. I can guarantee you. I have 4 planets in Virgo, and it's going to hit the majority of them. So anyway, let me make sure. Okay. So today we've got a lot going on. Obviously, Mercury just went retrograde. We have Venus yesterday, or actually early in the morning, went into Libra. So that happened at 10:07, actually last night, 10:07 p.m. last night. Moon is now in Leo. And let's see what else we've got. We've got the moon in conjunct to Chiron today at 11:26 p.m. And then we have a moon trine Uranus. So that'll be interesting. Although right now there really isn't a whole lot going on transit-wise until later on tonight. But oh no, people are saying they can't hear me. That's so not good. Let's see. Okay, well, hang on 1 second. Let me take a call real quick and see if they can hear me. So 646, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
You can hear me. Awesome. Okay, so it's been okay the whole time I've been talking?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I can almost hear you, and hopefully your voice is being recorded okay. I'm going to come back to you. I just wanted to check because I needed live confirmation that I can be heard, because someone in the chat room said they could not hear me. So anyway, thank you. I'll get to you just in a few minutes, okay?
No problem.
Thanks. Okay, so yeah, so that's happening. That's a fun time. Anyway, yeah, I apologize if you can't hear me. You might want to try checking something on your end. I've actually looked at everything on my end, and there isn't a whole lot I can do right now. So hopefully you'll all be able to hear me. And we have a lot of callers today, thankfully. Yay. Love listening to the questions that you guys all have. So today we have in Orlando, I have a Virgo rising at 27 degrees. So that'll be interesting. I still have Jupiter in the first, which is a good thing. And Mercury is in the first. So we're going to have a little bit of behind the scenes stuff probably going on electronically, but we've got Fortune in our first house. So that's awesome. So Jupiter at the last 3 degrees of Virgo. So it's going to be a definite time of having to watch out for accidents, because we also have an inconjunct between Jupiter and Uranus by about 3 degrees. It just passed an exact inconjunct, but now they are still within 3 degrees. So some weird, wacky things going on. Let's see, Mercury retrograde. Actually, on this one, it shows 8:30. Let me see what I've got here. 8:37. Oh, I didn't hit the now. That's why. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, now it shows Mercury retrograde. That's so funny. I woke up and did it at 8:30 this morning, and it wasn't retrograde, and now it is. So you just got to love that. I love that. Boom, something that throws up the little symbol on my chart. Anyway, I also posted 2 charts on the feed, so you should be able to see some of the charts going on in the feed rotating around for a couple different events. But so now Sun is at 7 Virgo, North Node at 12 Virgo retrograde, Jupiter at 27 Virgo, Mercury retrograde at 29, Venus is at 0 degrees 39 minutes Libra, Saturn at 10 degrees Sagittarius, and Mars is at 13 Sagittarius, Pluto at 15 Capricorn, 6 degrees retrograde, in conjunct to the Moon within 1 degree right now. Neptune is in Pisces and retrograde at 10 degrees. South Node is at 12 Pisces, and Uranus is at 24 Aries retrograde. I'm just going to real quick do an asteroid data chart because that also gives me some of the asteroids. It's just really slow. My computer's really slow, sadly, but there we have it. Okay, so we have Juno at 9 Scorpio, and we have Sirius at 5 Taurus. I'm not as familiar with all of the asteroids that go a little farther out, just so you know, but Chiron is at 23 Pisces. And there's something coming up with Chiron too, but didn't I just say something, Chiron? Yeah, there's an inconjunct with Chiron and the Moon tonight. So Chiron is the wounded healer. So that means that wherever he is, he brings out energy around that particular theme, whichever sign. So Pisces, it's about the past, it's about karma, it's about psychic energy, visions, your dream for the future, or it's the energy of Neptune. So it's about kind of that watery, boundaryless energy that gets us kind of floaty and dreamy and a little bit tired. So we're definitely going to be tired tonight early. You know, of course, probably earlier if you're in the west of the United States, because that's when it's going to be earlier for you. But for us, I'll be asleep by that time. So hopefully it'll be a very deep sleep and lots of dreams tonight. Okay, healing dreams, actually. So let me just real quick here get my notes. So I was just going over some of the kind of news stories of the week, and then I'm going to go over some of the aspects for the week too. But hang on one second. Let me just look here real quick and see. I've got the title of the show, and I just want to make sure because, you know, I've got all my notes here. But I forgot what the title is, so I want to make sure I touch on what I named the show here real quick. And that way everybody gets what they're looking for. I'm just going in to see what I've named it because I can't see where I'm at. So, yeah, it's going to be a little scattered until I get into the readings. I think I always end up grounding when I do the readings. You know, it's like talking to people really grounds me, and that's awesome because right now with Mercury retrograde, I'm sorry, but I've got 4 planets that answer to Mercury in Virgo, and you would think because I have Mercury retrograde in Virgo that it would be good for me, but I don't think it ever really feels that way when I go through a Mercury retrograde. So anyway, let's see. So we're talking about, okay, Virgo and September thoughts. So that's going to be all the aspects for the month of September, and there's some big ones. Okay, so the energy going on, and this is also the Virgo squaring Sagittarius right now, because we have the North Node and the South Node squaring Saturn and Mars right now, even though Mars is moving away from an exact conjunction with Saturn. It is actually still affecting things. And, you know, of course, I'm in Florida, and I'm looking out the window. It was a sunny morning. Of course, we have rain coming in. I've got rain clouds. Have to go vote after I'm done here. But, you know, we're going to have spotty rain all day because the hurricane that looks to be forming south of Cuba, and they're saying it could end up over Tampa, which I'm not too happy about because that's just north of Sarasota, and that's where my son is. So we've got that energy of Uranus and the inconjunct from 24 degrees Uranus to Jupiter and Mercury retrograding now. So that's definitely this energy of weather going on, but also some of the energy going on with Uranus. Again, Uranus in Aries is going to affect mentality along with the Virgo and the Mercury. You're going to be having your thought processes affected, and especially Uranus and Aries. And I was noticing on the same day, I think it was the same day or within 24 hours here in Orlando, and I'm sure you probably haven't heard of it across the country because there's so many news stories that happen all over the country. And so it's not necessarily easy to to hear everything that's going on. And I didn't even know about this until I found it on YouTube. Somebody mentioned it on a YouTube video. But LAX had some false reports of gunfire and they cleared out the airport in Los Angeles. And so they cleared that all out because it was a false report and everybody's on edge. But here in Orlando, there was a mall in town that also had some balloons popping, and it freaked people out. And people who weren't near these balloons popping thought it was gunfire. And, on social media, they were talking about it all over Orlando. And the news story actually had some comments about it, and people were being so nasty about these people who ran away from the sound because they're high strung. I mean, you don't even know what goes on in those people's lives. I mean, for all we know, they're war veterans, and the loud noises put them on edge. My daughter is in something called Color Guard, and she does flags, and her the guy who teaches Color Guard, who actually coordinates all of it, was at the Pulse nightclub. And apparently when there are loud noises that go off, he has to take a moment to compose himself. So you don't know what people go through. So when these things happen, like if balloons went off, it isn't a stupid liberal, which is what they said. It's a person reacting to stimulus in the environment. So that kind of thing can happen right now. It's just a really strong erratic energy. It could be things where people act out. It's more mental right now. I know a lot of times I report on these events, and it can be a real emotional thing, but with all the Virgo, this really is like the mental stimulus. It's kind of an overstimulus in some sense because of the Jupiter-Mercury conjunction, which of course will happen within the next couple of days too. Let me just look real quick. Yeah, it happens Friday at 1:18 p.m. Eastern, 10:18 a.m. Pacific. We're going to have that conjunction. So that definitely is a day to be cautious about and be aware of because Mercury, for one thing, I always assign accidents to Mercury. For some reason, Mercury just likes to be a little bit, what's the word? It's mischievous. And he can put us in positions where things happen in a way we weren't planning on. And, of course, because it rules details and analysis, there's that energy of mistaken information. So definitely having this energy in conjunction, I should say it that way, because otherwise you get an inconjunct, which it is not an inconjunct. It is in conjunction. So that means they're next to each other. So Jupiter is expansion, but it is also at the end degrees of Virgo, which can be the ending of health issues or situations of transition around health. And then Mercury can be accidents. So, and Jupiter is travel and flight and education. So this to me is somewhat of a volatile time, especially because the inconjunct to Uranus. I would say that there is increased risk, and I'm only saying this as a thoughtful astrologer trying to give you more information. Just be cautious in situations that involve schools, education, religion, and airports and airlines, because Jupiter rules the airlines and transportation and education and spirituality, and Virgo rules education as well, and the workplace and health institutions. So all of these, and someone just squealed around the corner, be careful out there. Anyway, so yeah, Mercury-Jupiter conjunction throughout this week is going to be pretty intense energy. And next week, I'll tell you in a minute, because we're doing the month of September, next week also has some energy, which I'll probably talk again about next week. But anyway, yeah, so we've got that going on. And then Venus just went into Libra. Now, Venus in Libra is a really lovely, wonderful energy because Venus rules Libra. And don't we all need a little bit more love in the world? And that's really what it is. It's about what the world needs now is love, sweet love, because we've got this energy that we have been dealing with all the Virgo, mental, work and health and stress and education, going back to school and the end of summer and all that sort of stuff. And Libra wants to partner. Libra wants to have beauty. Libra wants to slow down and appreciate art and music and poetry and, everything that makes life beautiful and wonderful, being with other people, the energy of balance in our world. And thank goodness Venus is there right now, because she's really giving some positive energy to a lot of the emotionalism, a lot of the stress that we've been feeling. She is moving in throughout the next couple of weeks, she will be moving into a square with Pluto, which means major life changes around relationships. And I always talk about Taylor Swift on the show, but I was telling my daughter, I did a chart for Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris when they first started dating, and there's a lot of intense energy in their charts. And, he has Saturn on her Pluto, and Pluto is major life change, and Saturn is responsibility and ownership. And he really makes her settle down and own some of the intensity that she has. Now, that being said, they broke up. I definitely was concerned about some of the energy going through. And the only reason I digress to this is because I want to get to the point of Libra and Pluto. So anyway, she's such a great example because her life is so public. But I told my daughter, when I did the chart with Calvin Harris, which is who she was dating, I really saw them getting together for the long haul. I really think that they have a karmic tie and a karmic bond that, yes, I think they're going to go through some discord. And I definitely think that what they went through was pretty intense. But it was also Taylor's karma to bail out on relationships early on. So she kind of bailed on him and went out with Tom Hiddleston. And Hiddleston now is filming Thor in Australia, and Taylor is going to jury duty in Tennessee. And they say they haven't been together for a while and that there may have been rumored an argument. Well, I definitely don't think Tom Hiddleston is her man for eternity. I thought he was kind of like a transient that was indicative of the transits in her chart and what's going on astrologically. And now Mercury's retrograde. So there could be someone coming back from the past. Neptune's retrograde, and Venus just went into Libra. So I'm thinking that she may end up having some conversations with Calvin. He just won an award at the Video Music Awards this weekend for the song video that they did together, which she tried not to take credit for, but it came out that she had ghostwritten this latest song. So yeah, I know a lot about Taylor. Anyway, so the point is that I do think that they're going to connect again, and I think that may come out of nowhere, and people will be like, "What? They're together again?" I think they have not finished their story, and so it'll be interesting to see how that evolves. But that definitely is some indication of the energies coming in, and especially after Jupiter goes into Libra, it's about committing to the partner and people wanting to partner up. End degrees of Virgo, we're getting out the old energy, we're finishing up the story, wanting to clear up the need to have our desires spoken up for and speak for ourselves. So Mercury retrograde is definitely going to have us go back over all this energy that we've been feeling, because Mercury rules Virgo, remember, and he is squaring Gemini right now. So Geminis are feeling this really strongly this month as well. So Mercury retrograde going through all the Virgo energy, hitting Jupiter, hitting the sun again and the moon in the next 3 days. He'll be going into Virgo too. So we're going to have Mercury conjunct Virgo and Jupiter conjunct and Sun conjunct. So there's going to be, and there's so much I don't even know what to say. So Jupiter, watch out for traffic issues, work issues, health, et cetera, et cetera. And then we're going to have the moon is the next one, even though the moon isn't even near the sun yet. Let's do that first. The moon's going to hit the sun. We're going to have a lunar eclipse. Hang on. Let me double check. Where the heck did I put my glasses? There they are. Okay, yeah, I'm a bit wired up today. Can you tell? I haven't even had coffee. I'm a Virgo. I've had 5 hours sleep, if that, and no coffee, and yet I'm hyper. That gives you an idea what Mercury retrograde does to me.